You guys, if you remember yesterday I said one of the parts of this assignment where you can probably separate yourself from everyone else and be as creative as you want to is when we choose our colors for our sky. So when you're thinking about your sky colors, I would suggest choosing maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 at the very most colors. I wouldn't go more than 5. Typically 3 is about right. Maybe 4 if you have a bigger area for your sky. And a good way to be thinking about your sky is to think to yourself, okay, my sky, I want to be mainly warm colors. Warm colors would be things like mainly red, blue, and orange. Or maybe you say, I want my sky to be mainly cool colors. Cool colors meaning blue, greens, and violets. If you choose cool colors, that does not mean that you cannot have warm colors sprinkled in there too. You can. If you choose cool color, warm colors, you can have cool colors sprinkled in there too. Okay? So it's just a good way to start thinking about the colors you want in your sky. But before you even start thinking about those colors, you need to know that not all colors get along well with each other. So the best way to think about that is to revisit a color wheel. So if I take this, and I'm going to show you a color wheel here real quick. All right, so our primary colors, as you guys know from elementary school, hopefully, we have a red, we have a blue, we have a yellow. Secondary colors come from when we mix two primary colors together. So if I mix red and blue together, I'm going to get what? Purple. We'll call it violet. Yellow and blue make what? Green. Yellow and red make? Orange. Okay. So there's our primary colors. There's our secondary colors. Now once we have our primary colors and secondary colors established in a color wheel, when we label the intermediate colors, when you mix a primary and a secondary together, those are also called tertiary colors. But when we label them in a color wheel, you guys have to label using the primary color first. So this is going to be a reddish violet. This will be a bluish violet. This will be a bluish green. This will be a yellowish green. This will be a yellowish orange. This will be a reddish orange. So the primary color is first in labeling. Everybody see that? Okay. Now here's the reason for the color wheel. Not all colors get along. So if I were to mix red plus green, they're opposites on the color wheel. We're going to get a brown, mucky mess. If I were to mix orange and blue together, you're going to get a brown, mucky mess. If I were to mix yellow and violet together, we're going to get a brown, mucky mess. All right, so you have to stay away from those things, those colors. Now, when I say stay away from, I mean stay away from putting them right next to each other. You can have those same colors in your skies just as long as they're not touching. Look at this example right here. I have yellow with the red and then to a purple, okay? The purple or the violet and the yellow are not together. They're not touching, so they're not making that brown, mucky mess. As long as they're separate, it's okay. You just don't want to stack them up next to each other. Okay? Some of the examples that we showed today, or that I did today, some of the skies, you guys are in a little bit of advantage because you have me 8th period. You get to see everybody's skies that we've done all day. This was first period sky. It was more of a hot, fiery sky. This was second period sky. Okay, this was third period sky. I think. Right here. Or fourth period, sorry, fourth period. There's fourth. And then this is fifth. Actually, I kind of like fifth. Fifth is kind of interesting. And then Seventh period, right before you, is probably one of my more favorite skies too. It's got a lot of different colors in it, and kind of funky. And so you want to be thinking about those colors, all right? So as you think through your colors, you need to also be thinking about, do I want to go dark to light or light to dark here? All right? This one, I did dark to light. This one, I did light to dark. See the difference? Okay? So you want to think about dark to light or light to dark. Now, once you've established your colors, once you establish all the stuff that you want to do, you are going to take your brush, you have your paper towel, you have your sky ready to go, you've got all your colors here ready to roll. You want to make sure you have everything ready to go because this process that you're going to do, this wet and wet process, is going to go fast. If you sit around with it for a while, it's going to take you too long, and things are going to dry out. You got to do this while everything's all wet. So we're going to take our brush, and we're going to start to wet this entire sky. Just the sky. Do not go below the horizon line. We're just wetting the sky here and getting it as wet as we possibly can. Just like this. All the way across. Now remember I said this is professional grade watercolor paper. We really can't put too much water on this. The more water you have on here, the better the result you're going to have with your watercolor. So I want to make sure it's all slippery wet looking. I'm going to get down at it at eye level like this and look and see, make sure everything is all shiny and wet. We're all good to go. Now I'm ready to start with my colors. I'm going to do a dark blue down here at the bottom. And the color is going to roll in here. I had a drop of paint here. It's going to go down here. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about that because some of my first marks when we do the ground tomorrow is going to be black. We can cover it right up. So we're going to go blue right here. Then I'm going to switch. And I'm going to go green this time. I haven't done a green one yet today, so I'm going to do a green one. Then I'm going to go to yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to go, this could turn out really ugly, but I'm going to go to black. Now, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to dab, stay with me here, hang on. I'm going to dab some black down in here. I'm also going to dab maybe a little black over here and just hold it. Now, you can be done. This watercolor could be complete just like this. Or, I'm going to carefully pick it up. I'm going to go over a garbage can. And I'm going to tip this over a garbage can. This is called running your watercolor. I'm going to let it run off the top. Don't turn it the other way. It's all going to go into your ground. Run it off the top like this. Kind of pick it up as it goes. And I'm just going to stop and hold. Now, you will see where I did those black dabs where they ran up some darker colors. The black that was on there is now gone. Now, in order to get the snow, up here in this white little bowl, a teeny pinch of salt. Teeny pinch. 1 pinch of salt. Too much salt's going to make it look really strange. 1 little pinch of salt, and you'll start to see some of the sprinkles landing in your watercolor here.
That is so, I love that. And then it makes little white dots.
That'll make some white dots on there. And we'll let that sit. You don't mess with it, just let it sit at your table, okay? You let it sit at your table and let it dry. As it dries, that salt is going to push out some of the paints. It's going to look kind of like it's snowing out. Now, quick review. Here in just a minute, you're going to get your stuff out of your drawer. When you get your stuff out of your drawer, you're going to make sure all the taping part is done, right? You've got your branches off of branches. All your bases are at different levels. Everything's all pushed in. You show me. I'm your ticket to paint, right?